Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sean LaFlock. I'm here with Scotty Hagen. This is Conversations, Fitness, Wellness, and Longevity. Scott, what are you eating?
I am eating liver, avocado, and some mashed potatoes.
I could smell it through the phone.
It sounds very paleo of me, doesn't it?
It's so paleo. It sounds like you went outside and you killed a bison and you took its liver and you mixed it with some avocado and some potatoes that you made in your backyard.
Yeah. We have lots of avocado trees here in the Northwest.
Do you really? No.
No.
No. That's our territory. We have a good amount of avocado trees down here. You know, the sap, I believe, is poisonous.
Mm.
So, like, you'll notice that every once in a while, like if you really carve out an avocado and you get toward like the pit, like not the pit, like the stem, it has
Yeah.
almost like an instantaneous nausea taste to it because the body just automatically, senses poison. But yeah, you shouldn't allow kids to handle pick avocado from tree or dogs or anything like that around it. I believe.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I had no idea.
That could be completely false, and I could be making this up, but we don't fact check here
Yeah.
on Fitness, Wellness, and Longevity.
No. And we don't have them up here, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so you can't. We can't have you go lick one.
Yeah, I'm not going to test that.
So Scott, we are in the second week of the Open. Did you happen to take a look at the newest workout? Did you watch it online? What do you got, Scott?
Yeah, all of the above, and I've judged it and seen a handful of folks do it already as well. So,
So what were your first thoughts on announcement?
Well, at first, of course, I was roped in on it. It was just the two things. I was like, well, I guess it's a sprint workout, but and then the lift in the same time frame made a really interesting chess game and challenge. Interesting, I would say. Now, I haven't done this one yet. I did do 18-1 for fun, but I haven't done this yet. But
okay, all right. So we definitely got to backpedal a little bit. Let's go back to 18.1 because that has we'll let that. There's controversy for those of our UK fans. The controversy was that a lot of people were using the Zebex rowers, which they did a side-by-side comparison of a scaled athlete doing 14 calories on it, and then Patrick Vellner, who finished top 10 in the world on it, and they did the 14 calories on both. The guy on the Zebex took 19 seconds to complete the 14 cals.
What?
And a bunch of people were using the Zebex rowers.
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, well, that's...
So I wonder how far down the ladder people were actually using them. Because you might be saying, like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. But, like, if a dozen people in a region in the top 100 were doing it, that's significant.
Right. Yeah, it totally could be. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it should be verifiable for anybody that matters, right? Because they would have to have submitted videos, and you should be able to tell.
Yeah, definitely. But they also have to submit that video.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine any of those guys at the top, they're, if you were cheating or not cheating, but if you knowably or unknowably were using a Zebex rower and you do make it to regionals, I mean, you're good enough.
Right, because
is that one workout going to make you go to regionals? Maybe you finish 50th on that workout, and then the rest of them you're all in the 2000s.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you would still clearly be worthy of being there, at least very right to the absolute cusp. If it was your score using a Zebex pushed you over the line, but you were damn close anyway.
Mm-hmm. So how did you? By the way, I did retest the workout, but how did you go?
They saw this. Surprisingly well. I mean, considering I literally haven't done a actual CrossFit WOD for, I don't know, at least a year and a half, 2 years since the end of the Opens 2 years ago. And I don't do hardly any high breathing stuff. I literally do, BMX bike tricks for hours, and then I do some explosive lifting. And I had done those 20 rep programs a few months back, but I got through. I was most of the way done with 9 rounds, and I felt like I could have gone much faster. I realized I wasn't expecting, and I wasn't competing or being judged, so I didn't try to make it an all-out effort.
That's awesome
by any means.
Good for you.
So I was surprised, and it felt totally fine. Like I literally finished, hopped off my rower, and immediately put it away. It wasn't like a stressful effort. So So I was happy that apparently things maintain from a lot of low intensity effort and just keeping the skills sharp, the strength sharp.
And just knowing intrinsically how to pace workouts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, yes, experience from lots of years of doing it certainly helps.
Yeah, that's great. So the second time I did it on Monday, and what I wanted to do was really just clean up transition work. And because I think that's an area. I mean, I didn't film it, but I knew just from watching other people that and from listening to some tips was that the transitions were going to be the biggest area where you can improve. So my row actually got slower, but my transitions were faster. But the row, let's say I was sacrificing 50 calories per hour for the 45-second interval. Maybe that goes a second to 2 seconds more, right? But by going faster transitions from the pull-up bar to the dumbbell and from the dumbbell to the rower and not like trying to catch your breath during your transitions, just getting into the next movement, that allowed me to save time there. So so for the 1 to 2 seconds I was losing on the row, I was gaining 4 by transitioning faster.
Yeah.
My goal was to do 13 rounds, and I wrote it down on the board. All my splits, what I'd have to do, and I think I made it through like 3 rounds and then started falling off a bit. But by halfway through, I had gained 30 seconds, and then the backside, I gained another 30 seconds. So I had an extra minute or so. So I got off the rower with a minute left, right to the toes to bar, and then finished off the dumbbell clean and jerks for finishing out that. So 12 rounds plus the toes to bar plus the clean and jerks.
Nice.
At the buzzer.
Yeah, pretty big improvement from the first go.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people had some similar improvements, about 20 reps if they redid it. The funny story is my athlete Myra, she had done 12 rounds plus 3 toes to bar on Friday. We were like, all right, great, looks good. We're kind of looking at the leaderboard. I'm like, all right, no need to retest this. This is awesome. So she watches me retest it in the morning after working in the morning. Then she has to go pick up her kid, go coach at her gym, come back, coach the boot camp. I happened to be there because I was getting a massage, and she comes up and she goes, I think I'm going to have to redo the workout. And I'm like, Myra, it's 7 o'clock at night. You've worked all day. What do you mean? And I kind of look at the scores. I'm like, and then I asked some friends, like, hey, what did your athletes redo it? They're like, yeah. I'm like, how did they do it? They're like 20 reps more. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Myra,
this is Monday night.
This is Monday night. I'm like,
oh right, because you guys have till 8. I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I go, Myra, grab your stuff. Let's go. And literally, she warmed up in 15 minutes, and we're like, all right, let's do it. And we wrote down exactly what she had to do to get over 12 rounds, and then she got an extra minute. She got back on the rower and ended up doing an extra 20 reps on her workout. So she got I think 4 calories on the row. So she had the entire thing, the 12 rounds, the toes to bar, the dumbbell snatches, and then double clean and jerks, and then 4 calories on the rower. And she actually finished. She's in 14th in the region right now.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that's very
it was wise.
And in retrospect, thinking about the workout for her in particular, it's a long workout, but she's a bigger athlete. It was a bigger athlete workout.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the row and then the dumbbell clean and jerk, if you were a little bit bigger, the gymnastics component wasn't significant enough.
Right. Yep. Small enough dose with plenty of break doing the other stuff between it to not slow.
And just think about it. It's like, even if you do 12 rounds, what is that, 98 toes to bar in 20 minutes? That's nothing. Right. People who do 100 toes to bar in less than 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is grip blowing up for people because it's just a lot of pulling. But gymnastics grips help. Get well placed, this and that. But she did phenomenally, and she was a freaking soldier about it. You know what I mean? She was just and she was really happy with it. 14th in the region after week 1, and now we had the second workout announced. Obviously, we know it's a 1 to 10 dumbbell front squat and burpee over the bar. And then after you finish that, then you're going into the max clean. So when you looked at it, now we've kind of explained last week and now this week, definitely a different workout. We've seen the add-on in 15.1, or is it 16.1? 16.1 probably. 15.1.
15.1, yeah.
15.1. We saw the add-on. where you did the clean and jerk after the 12-minute AMRAP or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now they don't have the add-on. Now it's part of the workout, which I liked. I like that. It allows the better athletes to be able to really go after it on the clean. The other thing to note is during the announcement, I like how they did the scaled athletes first, allowed the elites to warm up, and then brought them out. I really appreciated that because then you're not putting them at risk to injure themselves. They're doing the workout at 9 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night, so maybe it's a little bit later than what they're usually used to because they're probably getting up and doing it in the morning. But at the very least, they did that for them.
Right. Yeah, they got to build to whatever they were going to build to in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then get their aerobic system going a little bit. Super impressed by Noah. Super impressed by Vellner. I don't know if you actually watched it. Did you watch it?
I did.
Did you happen to see Max loading up his bar? That was that big bald animal. He was loading up Noah's bar and doing the whole thing for him.
Yeah.
But I did it today. Noah put up a 4:03 with no reps. Vellner could have gone faster than I thought he was going to catch him. We got no reps. But that's insane. These guys were doing it in close to 4 minutes. So impressive.
Yeah.
Well, how are people doing? How are people doing in your gym so far?
Incredible. We don't have a ton of competitive fire breathers anymore, as we've trended toward being more of a specialty and I would say middle-aged type clientele.
Yeah.
But I had a guy this morning, man, and she got a 225 clean.
Nice.
Post-workout. I think only bigger guy struggled a little bit getting through the other stuff. I think he had 90 seconds, but
okay.
He got in at 185 was no problem. Went 225. Did he jump straight? No, I think he got 3 attempts. And a few people get within 15 pounds or so of a max, which is pretty impressive under the amount of fatigue. Nobody that I would say had a ton of time left on the main part of the workout.
Yeah. So,
what have you seen?
At first glance, I see the workout and I go, "Oh, this isn't too bad." There's only so fast you can go on the dumbbell front squats. There's only so fast you can go on burpees over the bar. So there are some limitations. That being said, if you are proficient at those things, this could be a workout you can knock completely out of the park. Goodbye. If you're a big boy who can do burpees, this is nothing for you. My brother Tyler, who is a coach at the CrossFit 2-on-2s, sent me a video of this kid Layton, who it lined up. The stars lined up for him. He did it in 4:11 and did a 356 clean.
What?
And barely missed 361.
Wow.
That is insane. I rubbed my eyes after I saw it. I was like, this is not human. 4:11 and 356. And it makes my 5:43 and my miss at 287 and I hit 267 look like I was a female athlete. No offense to the females. I'd be a very good female athlete, but still.
Wow, that is incredible. Well, I mean, that's quite a bit above even
Vellner.
Vellner, yeah.
That's basically what Vellner did it on the workout side, and then he did a 356 clean. I mean, that'll be probably top 10 in the world. I don't see too many people. Maybe Fraser, maybe Garrett Fisher, because they got big cleans and that kind of stuff. But that's insane. So
yeah,
for me,
what's this guy's clean max normally?
I don't know. It's got to be somewhere around like 365. But it was just a perfect work. I asked my brother about it. It was just a perfect workout for him. He's a 2-time regional team competitor, so he's like a bigger guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 55 burpees, 55 burpee over bar, 55 dumbbell front squat with 50-pound dumbbells, which is nothing for a guy of that caliber. And the same thing, like those guys made it look light last night. They were holding it in the front rank position. After I think 3 or 4 rounds, I had to put it on my shoulders because it was so just it was burning out my arms. But they had no problem.
Yeah.
So the front rack position, that was one thing that you could play around with to improve your score. just in terms of comfort, I ended up putting it like that, like wearing it like a
Yeah.
collar almost. My
The towel. Yeah.
my right trap is now freaking out. My nerve just pressing down on it. Whenever I do like yoke carries or
Right.
like put stuff there, it just ends up, tweaking out my nerve or my trap. Um, Burpees over the bar. I think I probably went out in the workout a little too hot, which it's designed to, because it's a low rep scheme. So
Hmm.
I knowing going in that I was going to be doing this twice, I was like, all right, let's see how this feels and where that drop off was. And I think
Hmm.
my reps slowed down. I have it on film around like round 7. They just started getting a little slower. So if I were to do that, two things I would do: rack them the way I racked them right from the beginning, not at round 4, and then be more conservative on the front half, just to leave a little bit more of a kick at the end.
Yep. That's a
I mean, I
typical
went
mistake
fast on the
I've seen.
burpees, but like just my quads just burn out way too quickly.
Yeah. That's what I've typically seen is people come out a little too hot, and then that really pay for it in the final rounds, or like a significant amount of time is lost potentially.
Again, if you can't transition quickly, you're just wasting time. It's like rowing fast and then standing around. There's no
Hmm.
point. You might as well slow down the reps and transition right
Exactly.
back, because
Hmm.
the transitions are where you can get easy money, and there's not that much time you're saving by going faster on the reps.
Yep.
Not to mention that, like, the front squats, you can go, if you're able to do them in a smooth rhythm rather than having to rest in between reps, that helps. You always want to be
Right.
doing
Yeah. If
work.
you have to, yeah, if you're doing more work hanging onto those things, if you're, having to pause between reps and catch a couple breaths or something.
Yeah. So then I went right to 225, smashed it. My pulling's just off. It's just pissing me off. Because I think I had the legs to get to 285 plus today, but the bar, just catching in the wrong position. I
Hmm.
racked 287 twice, and I couldn't stand up with it just because it would buckle me in the bottom. I would have
Hmm.
my hips too far back, and I just couldn't stand up with it. So, looking for a little bit better time on the dumbbell on the couplet. I think being a little bit more conservative, I think I could probably shave it like 10 seconds off there. And if I get hit something like 285, 287 plus, because on that workout in 2015, I hit I think 290 something on the clean and jerk. So I'm capable of
Hmm.
doing it in under fatigue. And again, it didn't feel heavy. It was just not there. Like, my pulling just sucks. I mean, my technique has just been off. When it's on, it's on. When it's off, it's off. I can't snatch anything more than 205 right now. So it's just frustrating. But I have 48 hours to kind of clean things up, and this is just a push in the direction where I need to go to improve upon those things. So, like, when you're under the gun, it's time to put up or shut up. So I gotta actually get to work and work on those areas to clean that up, to make sure that I'm going to maximize my score on Monday. Now, again, I'm anticipating the cutoff for like a regional caliber athlete to be like the 315, 325 area, right? Once guys like test it and then know what to be able to do. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like that's going to be kind of the general ballpark as a qualifying score. And then what do you think we'll see as a rough range you'll need to be in on the second part for a max for
So I think probably under 5 on the first part, and then, like I said, about 325 on the 315
yeah,
to 325 for the clean.
yeah, that would seem to be, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing: you got guys who are doing 411 and 356, which is insane. Last night, those guys went so hard, I think they might have burned themselves out on the clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look, right, I did one of we saw misses at like 295, I think, right?
Yep.
And the problem was not the pull, but just having the legs to stand up with
Yep.
weights. It should have been cake. I mean, normally would have been cake for either of those guys. And yeah, they might have
Because both of them are in the
paid a little bit
355
for.
plus clean range. Noah's got
Yeah,
365, and I believe Elner's at 355.
yeah, that's
That's
kind of
not
what I was.
90%. I mean, if I run the numbers real quick, 311 divided by 365, that's 85% for Noah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Vellner got 325 maybe divided by
that's what I.
355. He's more in the 90% range. That's more accurate, but
Mhm.
Noah probably has like 320 in. which again will put him right in the area and to balance the score out because he's probably going to win the first part of it, and then potentially we'll be in like the 100th place, whatever, because maybe even lower, just because there's going to be tons of people who are outliers.
Yeah, you'll have some outliers like that one guy you're talking about there. It's going to be
so
right in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fortunate thing about this, I felt fine afterward. Wasn't metabolically trashed, and really wasn't sore at all. Whereas last week doing a 20-minute workout, you just feel drained. For me, I'm like, all right, like I could do another training session. I went out this afternoon and played lacrosse with my boys, like the high school lacrosse team. I ran around and that kind of stuff because I kind of wanted to get moving again. But I anticipate tomorrow I'm going to be coaching in the morning, so maybe get some recovery work in, some CNS jazzing stuff, maybe work on a little technique. And then either Sunday or Monday hit it, depending on when I feel good. So there's no real game plan as to, definitely this day, definitely the other day. So.
Yeah, I would think either day should be fine. Kind of go with how you're feeling and see if you can get your nervous system kind of recharged a bit tomorrow. But yeah, the volume isn't that significant, and nor is the intensity outside of a couple quick lifts, I mean, yeah, there's some structural stuff from the front squats, but in the grand scheme, it's light and not that many.
Yep. And just think, like, the workout was only bad for about 2 minutes. So you did 2 minutes of hard work. Whereas, like, the 20-minute AMRAP from last week, you're doing about 12 minutes of hard work.
Yeah, you feel it at a certain point, and then just like hanging on.
Just hanging on. Just hanging on. Just hopefully the grip doesn't go. But the CNS recharge tomorrow is going to be big. Getting good sleep, getting the CNS back in order. So, some dopamine, the neural recharge work is going to be big. Not doing too much tomorrow, like, because I think, there's a part of me that says, okay, we got to get this done. We got this. I just got to be fresh.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing for everybody is like when you do your retest, don't worry about trying to get in better shape. Try to get back to feeling good.
Right. You can't get in any better shape between now and Monday.
And you don't want to, recovery sessions turn into all of a sudden these aerobic sessions, and all of a sudden you're drained from your recovery session. Mm-hmm. I think at this point in the game, a recovery session could be a walk, some mobility, and go home for some people. Or it might be in my case where I want to actually get my nervous system back in check.
Yep.
But I want to rip someone's face off right now. Like that's how good my nervous system feels right now.
Yeah, it's still fired up.
Yeah, still fired up.
How long ago did you do the workout?
I did it this morning. So if I did it at about 11 o'clock, so that's 7 hours later.
Okay, so
8 hours later.
Yeah.
And again, I
then tried to find something to get yourself ramped down tonight.
That's a good point. Like turn it off.
Turn it off. Yep, because that'll get you recovering nice faster. Yeah.
Bath, maybe some food. Some
breathing,
tasty food.
Good food. Yeah, maybe Epsom salts. I mean, just some ideas. But
very good point.
Whatever you feel works for you there, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Scott. One thing that I've been playing around with, I don't know if you've done the research yet. So, the other recommendation that my functional medicine practitioner recommended, other than the 5-HTP, was CBD oil.
Mm-hmm.
So for those listening who don't know what CBD oil is, it's a derivative of hemp oil, or it's derived from hemp. It's hemp oil. So it's the non-psychoactive components from hemp, from marijuana. Not marijuana, but from hemp. It's derived from hemp. It's legal.
Yeah.
Some people, for many years, a lot of people have swore by it. Other people say it's hokey nonsense. I've done tons of research. There's a lot of people who swear by it in the fitness world, but also the functional medicine world as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is based upon the response from the individual, right? Like some people could respond to it very well, others nothing, no changes. So I got a very low concentration. It's 8.3 milligrams per syringe, so it's 30 servings. And I got it for like $33 at because there was a sale. They're on sale at my local green grocer. But it goes up to a concentration of all the way up to 50 milligrams or maybe even 100 milligrams. So that's for chronic pain kind of deal. And obviously with the higher concentration, that's more expensive. I think it goes up to like 130, $140. So it depends on the concentration, how much CBD is actually in a dosage. So I do a syringe sublingually, so under my tongue, about an hour to 2 hours before sleep. Um, Depending on how much food I have in my stomach, will kind of dictate how quickly it'll affect. But it definitely has a calming effect, like letting the nervous system calm down a little bit. But it also gets me in a non-anxious state a little bit.
Yeah, very
Um,
yeah, parasympathetic inducing.
Yep, and
Yeah.
doesn't really give too much grogginess. If you get up early on it, just like any other sleep aids, if you don't sleep the 7 to 8 hours, you're gonna have some lingering grogginess from it. The other thing with it is it's supposed to be anti-inflammatory as well. So if you're training hard and that kind of stuff, it can give you some anti-inflammatory benefit as well. There's no high from it. You're not going to get a psychoactive. You're not going to see the walls melting or start seeing smells or whatever. But I would for people who have cleaned up their diet, who have done 5-HTP, melatonin, all that kind of stuff. I would say it is a viable alternative. Start obviously work with a medical practitioner while using it, but I would say that it's legit.
Yeah, I know a number of people that have used it, and I've heard nothing but good things about, like, and I'm not here in Oregon
I
where,
was gonna
you
say
know, it's free for
probably
all. I can
pretty
I can
red.
walk out of here and, to like 5 weed stores, and just a few blocks away there's more than there is Starbucks. And that's of course to buy straight up stuff to smoke, but CBD oil is pretty prevalent as well.
Yep, and they do it in gummy form and capsule form and that kind of stuff. I just chose to use it
Yeah. Yep.
sublingually. I mean,
Yep.
I've done I used to take shots of fish oil, so this is nothing for me. But
Right. Yeah.
oh god, remember the Carlson fish oil days?
Oh man. Yes.
How bad was that?
Yes.
Just
Oh
burping it
man.
up, that orange freaking lemon flavor. Ugh. Someone tried to freaking
Oh.
fool me the other day. They work for a supplement company that I won't mention, but they're like, "Oh, it's great, no problem." Like, I mean, I'm like, listen, I used to do it all the time. Like, I don't want to do it. They're like, "Oh, come on, it's just great." I take it. I smelled like fish oil for the rest of the day, and I tasted it the rest of the day. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I listen to this person? I was so
oh,
livid. But
oh
you know what?
man.
You gotta be assertive sometimes. The other
Yeah.
thing that helps is combining it with curcumin. So
Mhm.
doing a
Yeah.
turmeric or a supplementation of curcumin, which also has huge anti-inflammatory benefits, that supercharges it as well and makes it more absorbable. So I've been sprinkling. Have you ever sprinkled like turmeric over your food and stuff like that?
Yeah. I use it. I've used curcumin extract.
Oh,
Like
okay.
last year when I injured my shoulder and
Yep.
had the inflammatory process, I used heavy dose curcumin to speed that along.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
just been sprinkling it on my food just to kind of get a little bit more of that in, just because I never have curcumin, like turmeric. So I don't really like curry or anything like that. So just sprinkle it on. It doesn't really have too much of a taste, a little bit of a peppery taste, but doesn't really affect food. It's not like it's not so potent where you're like, oh, now this becomes like a turmeric food. It's just like
Yeah.
adding salt or pepper to something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It goes
yeah,
well with lots of stuff. Yeah.
absolutely. Like on vegetables, it's awesome. Cauliflower, you can basically make anything and then just sprinkle that stuff on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been playing around with that in the CBD, and again, some of it is to kind of see what's going on. I definitely notice that even though I'm feeling mellow, my mind will go and I get caught into those thoughts. So I think a lot of the symptoms of sleeplessness and restlessness and wakefulness in the middle of the night are based upon subconscious thought and belief and things that are definitely psychoactive, I would say, or not psychoactive. Better word would be psychosomatic.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Holding on
makes
to things
sense.
and not letting them go.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense for sure. We have a kind of hardwired to fixate on certain things.
Yep. And then once it's gone, you feel physically different. You're like, oh, I lie down in bed, and I'm like, okay, now I want to go to sleep. Whereas other days, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go to sleep. Like it's a weird kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So some noticings, and again, like I go back to when I used to do my triathlon days, where there was a triathlon. I was getting ready for a half Ironman. I'm like, I need to sleep. I remember taking a Xanax and a Ambien and not going to sleep.
Oh yeah.
I was so anxious, I couldn't go to sleep. And
Yeah.
imagine having that, going to swim 1.2 miles and then going for a 50-mile bike ride and then running a half marathon. I don't know how I'm alive right now. Like, some of the stuff that I put myself through is just so ridiculous.
It's like, oh man, this sounds
all
horrible.
For the pursuit of the fitness, and I don't know. Maybe I gotta go sit on a mountain for a year and let these thoughts go. But yep, we're 2 weeks down, Scott. I hope you do give this a try. It should be pretty fun.
Yeah, I might take this one for a drive as well.
Why not, Scotty? You can tell about the experience next week. We could share our war stories.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Next thing I know, I'll have done all of them.
I know, right? Might as well. You got anything else for today, Scott?
No, I think it's time to try and wrap this long marathon day and week up, and hopefully sneak in a quick ride before I have to go.
Attaboy, Sky. Well, I'm Sean LaFlock. You can get me at Sean@CrossFitDelrabeach.com.
Scott Hagness, you get me at Scott@CrossFitPortland.com.
Awesome, Scotty. Great seeing you.
Yeah, great talking to you, and see you next week.
Beautiful. Later, bud.
Later.